Sup with it, guys, you got Excellent Name here, back again for NPL week. This is day 3, and this day my opponent is jdmi, aka Jacob. His draft has got a fair few big defensive threats, Finny, Megavinu, Cresselia, stuff like that, along with Garchomp, Arcanine, Cobalion, Raikou, as well as some webs with Bishop. So my biggest concern going into this matchup was how I was going to deal with everything defensively. Because I felt like I had some pretty good breakers against this team, but my biggest concern was being able to bring in my Pokemon to do that breaking, because a lot of these Pokemon have good coverage for my team. Cresselia can threaten obviously with Thunder Waves and Ice Beams and stuff like that. Garchomp obviously is a big threat, as well as the Megavinu and the Tapu Fini in particular. So I bring a team with Flynium Z, Lando T, also going to be my rocker just with Swords Dance. I've got Roost 3 attacks, Charizard Mega Y with Hidden Power Ice. Wouldn't really want to click that on the Garchomp unless I was predicting it would swap in, but I think that it is a good tech to predict the swap in. I've also got Ebloon Klefki because it walls pretty much everything that Garchomp's going to want to do. I can set up my spikes with this. I've got Toxic for the Cresselia. I've got Sub CM with Draco, Meteor, and Psychic on the Latios. This is going to be my main win con probably. It's just going to do a really good job of breaking through a lot of his team, especially considering his Steel type does not resist Psychic. So he does struggle to deal with this defensively quite a lot. I've then got an Eject Button Toxapex because I feel like I can pivot in on stuff like the Cobalion, the Bishop, etc. and bring in my Breloom, bring in my Charizard, stuff like that. Just because, like I said before, I really struggle to swap into his team. And then I didn't really know what to put for my last Pokemon. There wasn't really a lot of good choices, so I decided to go with Toxic Orb Breloom. This can at the very least check the Bishop and the Cobalion, neither of which he ends up bringing. And it doesn't really deal super well offensively with his team, but with Swords Dance Facade I can kind of put in some work. Mach Punch can be useful against his offensive threats. And Synthesis can keep me in the game, so I can just continue to check the Garchomp and stuff like that. It does do a pretty decent job defensively as well, just based on its typing. But without further ado, we'll just start into the game. I decided to lead off with my Latios because it matches up well versus most things. I just want to scout what this wants to go for. I figured he would probably go for an Ice Beam or a Thunder Wave. On that turn, I didn't want to risk Landorus. Landorus was too important as a breaker, but I didn't really mind too much if the Charizard got parried, because for the most part, I can still take on defensively all of the things that now outspeed me with the power. So I wasn't too worried about this turn, but I do now know that he was T-Wave. The reason why I didn't go Toxapex is because I didn't want to waste my eject button so early. He goes into the Arcanine here and reveals to be Intimidate, which means that he's going to take a lot from his Flamethrower. So I feel pretty safe to just keep on clicking it, honestly. But he does get the full power there. He Wild Charges me there. I am not too upset with taking that damage on the Charizard. I will swap now, expecting the Morning Sun to come out. But because the Charizard is parried, it's not going to be the most useful thing. I might Earthquake there because I don't want to get Will-O-Wisp. I could have gone for the Sword Stance expecting this to come in, but it just felt too risky. And he reveals to be Trick Cresselia, which is going to be very important later on, as you'll see soon. I just go for a Roost here, try to get healthy, try to be able to take the rocks. But he reveals to be HP Rock Tapu Fini, which is really good bring. But I figure he probably isn't going to be Moonblast, or at least not very defensive on Moonblast if he is it. This was a really difficult turn though, because I didn't really have a lot of good answers to come in on the Finny at this point, because Breloom doesn't have any grass coverage. It gets blown back by Moonblast, given that the Finny is probably more offensive in nature. Klefki obviously gets his air balloon popped, and it doesn't really do anything back because the Mystic Terrain is still up. Landorus is going to still get blown back by a Surfer and Ice Beam, and obviously Pex just wastes the eject button and does nothing anyway. So I decided to go into Latios because I can at the very least set up a Calm Mind to take whatever he wants to hit me with, be it Moonblast or Ice Beam, and then I can threaten it with some big Psychic damage. It was kind of sacking the Latios in a sense, not really, but just taking a lot of damage on it, which was going to put me really far in the back, but he ends up going Cresselia here. which was a pretty big misplay because Finny kind of was enough to threaten this. I was able to get up a sub here, expecting him to either go for that T-Wave or that trick. He already revealed that he wasn't fast, so he goes into that Finny now because he is locked into trick, and I can just start clicking Psychic. He kind of misplaces again. He goes back into the Cresselia, but yeah, I've just set up now, and I'm prevent this sweep that's coming in, but instead he's just going into Cresselia because he thinks he can take this on defensively. But because Ice Beam isn't breaking my sub, I am able to just set them up to make sure that I don't get frozen, keep on Calm Minding. I don't want to go for +6 at this point because I don't want to get too low to the point where maybe an Arcanine Extreme Speed could pick me off after like Garchomp Scarf outrages me or something like that. As he goes for the Hidden Power Ice and I miss a Draco, which is, even though I'm pretty confident that the Garchomp isn't Scarf at this point because he would have gone into it earlier, I still want to set up the sub just to be safe. I don't want to take an Extreme Speed from Arcanine if that's the case. And I can just start clicking Psychic. He does reveal to be Extreme Speed. I am able to kill him off with the Psychic naturally, as he now goes into the Garchomp. Obviously not Scarf, otherwise he would have gone into it earlier, so I don't have to risk that. And now his last Pokemon, Venusaur, is going to drop to 2 Psychics. I do set up a sub here first, just in case he has Sleep Powder, but he doesn't go for it there, so I can just go for Psychic twice now to finish him off. So yeah, definitely very nice for me to be able to get this Latios sweep off. I was very worried about it, but thankfully he kind of tunnel visioned going into the Cresselia. Presumably thought I would be some kind of spec set that the Cresselia could take on, or if I was Calm Mind, that I'd be more likely to be Calm Mind Roost rather than Calm Mind Sub, because the Roost obviously would have been good to keep the longevity up. But yeah, clearly the sub was going to be really key for me this game, and it ended up working out really well. Even if I did lose the Latios a bit earlier into the game, it kind of done what it needed to. It would have set up a situation where Landorus can get big damage off, where the Breloom wasn't going to be worried so much defensively. But yeah, really Latios was the key to victory this game, so I am now 2-1. I kind of need to win my remaining 2 games to make it out of pools. It's a very difficult pool too, so really got to give respect to Vepsis and Ben and give my all in those last 2 games. But those should be hopefully tomorrow if I can schedule with them properly. So yeah, see you guys next time.